What's up everybody? I wanted to make this video to discuss the latest milestone that the channel's reached. We've reached 1,000 subs guys, and sometimes it doesn't even seem real. I remember that day. I was out running errands, but sometimes I would check my YouTube studio because my subs were rising pretty quickly. And then when I saw that 1,000, just internally it was like, yes! But then came the emotion because I had been trying for 7 years to reach this milestone. And also this year makes 10 years since I've been on YouTube. And I can say it's been a humbling experience. But I wanted to thank you guys. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for supporting the channel. Without y'all, I wouldn't have got here, so I am extremely grateful. See, but overall, I know the job's not done. There's other milestones that I can reach, other heights I can reach. But for this video, I just wanted to explain my journey so far and also explain ideas I have for the channel going forward. Now, the rest of this video is going to be a voiceover because I am not the best at speaking in front of this camera. I don't know whether it's the ADD, the stuttering, the anxiety. It's probably a combination of all three. Now, I will get on camera if it's something like a tier list where I don't have to do a lot of editing, and of course live streams because that's a more relaxed environment. I don't mind getting on camera. I just prefer to structure my videos out most of the time, but that's besides the point. Now let's go ahead and talk about how I got into YouTube. If you want to skip to the updates, you can go to this part of the video, but if you want to just sit back, drink some tea or something and hear the backstory of my two channels, here we go. Like I had said, I started my YouTube channel around 2015. The mid-2010s was a wild time on YouTube. It was still the Wild West in many ways, but it was inching closer to the YouTube we know today. It took a few incidents to lead it to that point, but I digress. At the time, I was in college and still trying to figure out what I really wanted to do. I was going through a darker time in my life mentally, and I was looking for some ways to make some cash, but also trying to find an outlet, something to feel good about. The first video I had ever uploaded was a GTA live stream that I had uploaded from Twitch. During this time, I didn't have a capture card, so Twitch uploads was the only means I had of uploading anything. But I ended up deleting those videos and started over. I decided to focus my channel around Sonic. I had gotten back into the series around the time. I mean, I was watching the old TV shows, playing the games, reading the comics. I was immersed in the fandom. So I thought to myself, why not? This channel went through a few names, The Mark Show, MOG64, but I had ended with Nintendo Mark. I was going all in on the Sonic/Nintendo videos. My early inspirations were guys like Somekami Johnny, Brain Scratch Comms, which Johnny was also a part of, James Rolfe, Carbonamati456. Kobe and Johnny got me into the one thing that would become a staple of that channel in my current one, modding. A lot of this channel was based around Sonic mods, and these little playthroughs/reviews were perfect for me at the time. I didn't think I could pull off full reviews of games, so these provide me with a middle ground that could help me improve my writing and editing skills. And I thought these mods were awesome at the time. I was invested in the Sonic Hacking Contest and the Sonic Amateur Games Expo or SAGE. These events had contests where people could upload their mods or games to see who had the best depending on the category. And I'm glad I found the Sonic modding community, because modding has become a staple of my current channel. But on top of that, I was starting to get into some Nintendo content. And I liked doing these videos for a while, but a few things would occur that would cause me to abandon this channel. Event number 1, the Adpocalypse. Remember when I said the 2000s was wild on this app? You had big YouTubers wilding, saying and doing some crazy shit. You had all types of videos being monetized, and I mean all types of videos. It eventually got to the point where companies weren't having it anymore, and they were starting to pull their ads from the site, which of course affected YouTube's bottom line, but a lot of creators were feeling the pain from this. YouTube, they had to do something. It all led to the yellow dollar sign, which limits the amount of ads that can be put on a video. So from this point on, if you did anything that YouTube would consider stepping out of line, you were gonna feel it, monetarily. Current videos, past videos, if YouTube consider it unsuitable for ads, the ad revenue for that video would tank, at least 90%. It got to a point where a lot of channels changed their style to protect their pockets. The edgy era of YouTube was pretty much over after this, but there was another side effect to this. YouTube also hardened their stance on monetization. requiring you to meet the partner requirements to be able to run your videos. Back in the day, just about anyone could be monetized on the platform, as long as you had that AdSense account and maybe signed with an MCN. I mainly did it for some protection from big companies and other YouTubers when it came to copyright issues, but there was also the possible chance of collaborating with other people signed to that MCN. You had to give them a percentage of your earnings, but most don't mind that, but other than that, you were good. However, those monetization requirements meant that if you were below those hard numbers, you would lose your ability to make money off of ads, and that killed a lot of small channels. It killed a lot of people's motivation because, yeah, small channels wouldn't make a lot of money to begin with, but it was the fact that you can make something that would drive people to keep on. Now, YouTube didn't just shut the water off. You had time to try and reach those numbers, but let me keep it 100 with y'all. I think I had maybe 3 to 4 months to reach those numbers, and there was no way in hell I was reaching those numbers. When I look back at the analytics, the most subs I ever had on that channel was 71, and the most watch hours was 157.7. The most views I had on the video was a Sonic 2 HD video. So yeah, that was that for monetization for me. But the monetization isn't what led me to leave the channel as a whole. There's a little more to it. It was the two-headed realization that my channel wasn't really going anywhere, but mainly that I wasn't into Sonic enough to base the majority of my channel around it. Yeah, I like Sonic mods, and I love the games, and the comics, and the shows, but I started thinking, I had finally started getting the confidence to want to do reviews, but I hadn't really beat many Sonic games. I've only beaten 4 to this day. Sonic 1, Sonic Generations, and Sonic R and Sonic the Fighters if you count those two. I like doing the comic reviews, but I needed a change, and it reinforced something to me. If you're going to run a channel, do it because you love it first and foremost, and create something that you're proud of. Also, maybe focus your channel around something that you have a lot of experience with. So I started making videos on my spare channel around 2018. The channel's name was Mark Ikariga, and it was supposed to be an anime/gaming channel, but I realized how much crap those channels get from Toei and the like, so I said, hell no, I don't want that beef. So I stuck strictly to gaming, and I changed the name to ArcticFoxMark. I did use the Ikariga name for a few months on Twitch. I was streaming a lot on there at the time, but I was starting to mess up when it came to my college work, so I had to let that go, and I never recovered over there. But at the same time, YouTube was calling me. I felt like I had unfinished business there, so I started uploading videos, but I went a different route. I started off with gaming news. My first video was the new Carmen Sandiego Netflix series, plus movie. Carmen Sandiego was a popular series when I was a kid, so I went for it. And it gave me the most views I ever had on any video. But of course the views were up and down, as I was really experimenting at this time trying to find something I really wanted to make videos on. And 3 years later, I found what I wanted to really cover. The Dark Energy ending. 14,000 views, and I was blown away. That was more views than I had on any video on the last channel combined. And that video led me to focusing on Mass Effect content. I had become a huge Mass Effect fan around 2013-2014, but I didn't think I was ready to tackle a series this large in terms of story. But I really wanted to do this, so I took it slow and did things I've always wanted to talk about, but could also make for good stories. Citadel DLC was me trying to get some bigger reviews, which I would achieve with my Sonic 1 video. I wanted to avoid being pigeonholed into one game again, so I tried to branch out, and I found another niche with the Halo Machinima community. I love Halo Machinima. The way that people could make shows and movies out of those Halo models, I love the idea of it. But I wanted to cover the history of Machinima as well, which is what led to that video. I'm still very proud of that one. And seeing that there was more videos I could do, it led to me making a whole series around that concept. The coolest thing about it was having Machinima creators come through and watch my videos when I would review their series. It was cool getting the opportunity to conversate with them. I should make another one of those in the future. I will at some point. The whole series started because I felt the Halo community was in a negative space at the time, and I wanted to bring something positive to the community instead of just bashing 343. But I was starting to feel more confident in creating longer form content around this time, so I started to branch out again. I reviewed the original Super Mario Bros. Movie. It didn't do too well, but I'm still proud of it. I made retrospectives on Star Fox Assault, Halo Reach, but I think it's time to talk about this video. Let's look at Project Variety in 7 Day 2023. I never expected this video to take off like it did. This is still the most watched video on my channel, and it was my introduction into Mass Effect mods. I wanted to do something special for N7 Day, and I had been looking for something to add to the channel, and I thought back to when I was making those Sonic mods. So I literally just typed Mass Effect mods in, and it led me to Nexus mods, the ultimate hub for Mass Effect and BioWare mods, and I've been hooked ever since. Mods have been a mainstay on the channel, and I started finding more success with those videos and just Mass Effect videos in general, so I just went for it and I haven't looked back. Since then, all but 2 of my videos have been Mass Effect based. I just really love talking about the series, so I followed my heart. And eventually, I reached that 7-year goal. I'm now a YouTube partner, and it's been a heck of a ride to get here. I've met some amazing people. I love the community that I have. It's been a wild ride, and I'm looking to see how far I can really go. So that's my spiel. And I want to thank you guys again for getting me to this point. Y'all were truly awesome. Now, let's get into the updates. What do I have planned for the channel? This will be less long-winded, I guess. First off, mods. I'm still going to be doing mod videos, of course. However, I've noticed that I've done most of the big mods, the big story, cut content mods. And I don't want to just put any mod on the video. I am selective in the ones that I choose. I have thought about doing mod update videos or live streams. You know, just playing the newer things that were added to the mods that I've reviewed already. However, if I see any mods that catch my eye, and I can get enough content out of it to warrant a review, I'll make a video on it. Next, I have 2 retrospectives that I want to do this summer. Those are Halo CE and Mass Effect 2. I've been wanting to cover Halo CE for years. I mean, it would be fitting to do it next year, as it would be the 25th anniversary of the game, but I may pull the trigger early. Now Mass Effect 2, I really want to do this one, as it's the 15th anniversary of that game. And I've already done Mass Effect 1, so why not keep that ball rolling? But I do want to start branching out again and make videos on other games. Mass Effect has become a huge part of the channel, and even though news is dry now, I'll still make videos if I have what I think is a good idea. But I do like to go off and try other things as well, and I hope y'all do tune in for those. I also mentioned live streams. I've been throwing this idea around for a while, and this could serve as a change of pace. I can't commit to it though, because between work and trying to get videos out consistently, I don't have as much time as I would like to do it regularly. But when I get the urge, we'll do some streams. Y'all can follow my Twitch page if y'all want. But I think that's all I have as far as updates and what I got going on for now. I'll be honest, I was reluctant to do the backstory at first, but I did it because I felt it encapsulates the YouTube experience. Finding your reason to start and run a channel, experimenting with what works and what doesn't, the grind to reach your goals, and the lessons you learn in between. This has been a very humbling experience, but I don't regret spending a lot of years to get to this point, and I don't think anyone else should either. If you want to do something, go for it. It may take a while, but you can do anything you put your mind to. As a YouTuber, your work is never done. There's always an idea that can be worked on, a goal to chase, and I think that keeps a lot of people going. But I want to thank you guys for watching the video. If you stayed around until the end, again, thank you for getting the channel to 1,000 subs. Much love, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace!
DJ Sonic 3.